Welcome to the Boston Barrister, Kevin Patrick Seaver, bringing you insights about your family and the world.
Welcome to the Boston Barrister. My name is Kevin Patrick Seaver. I'm located in Boston, Massachusetts, and today's episode is going to be the tale of two stories. These two stories fall into the I can't make it up category, but I wish I could so I could have a happy ending on one of them at least. The quiet night of February in Catalina, Arizona, in the foothills, an 84-year-old woman, 1:47 a.m. and 2:48 a.m. was taken from her home. The world did not know then what we know now, some 1 month later, when this 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of NBC Today co-anchor Savannah Guthrie, was to become one of the most gripping stories America's ever seen as to her, the 84-year-old mother, whereabouts. Last known hours of the 84-year-old mom, Nancy Guthrie, is now being put together with a timeline, and the whereabouts is still unknown. On the evening of Saturday, January 31st, Nancy Guthrie took an Uber to her daughter's home, Anna. She was to have dinner with her family. At 9:48 p.m. on the evening of January 31st, 2026, Nancy Guthrie was driven by her son-in-law, Maso, who was kind enough to drop Nancy Guthrie back at her home. Nancy Guthrie went into her home through her garage door at approximately 9:50 p.m. This was the last time Nancy Guthrie, age 84, was seen alive. Less than 4 hours later, at 1:47 a.m., a masked and gloved figure appeared at Nancy's front door. This individual was tampering with the doorbell camera on Nancy's home. The individual was trying to knock the doorbell camera, ring camera, loose. When he couldn't knock the doorbell off and therefore damaging it, he used a nearby plant to try to cover it with foliage from the plant. At 2:12 a.m., motion was detected. At 2:28 a.m., Nancy's pacemaker app disconnected from her phone. It was gone. Following morning, Nancy failed to appear at a scheduled live stream of a church service. A concerned churchgoer called her family. Relatives arrived at Nancy's home at approximately 11:56 a.m. The family found no sign of Nancy. They, however, found everything else: her car, her phone, her necessary medications. At 12:03 that same day, the family called 911. Deputies from the Pima County Sheriff's Department arrived minutes later. What the sheriffs found inside of Nancy Guthrie's home was alarming. The conditions of Nancy Guthrie's home was later described as being very concerning. The scene was anything but consistent with a voluntary departure by Nancy from her own home. Blood stains were found at the front entrance to the home of Nancy. Homicide investigators were called in alongside search and rescue team. The Sheriff's Department was very direct in their assessment. The Sheriff's Department issued a statement saying that Nancy Guthrie was taken from her home without her consent. The crazy part was that Nancy Guthrie, due to her age and other infirmities, was unable to walk 50 feet by herself. Forensic testing soon confirmed investigators had feared that the blood in the home front entrance was indeed Nancy Guthrie's blood. The search that followed was extensive. The Pima Sheriff's Department of Law Enforcement deployed dogs, drones, and aerial units. U.S. Customs and Border Protection also volunteered to help with the search and rescue of Nancy Guthrie. The Federal Bureau of Investigations, the FBI, also joined in the search and rescue of Nancy Guthrie. The local, state, and federal law enforcement left no stone unturned. They got the various surveillance footage from the entire neighborhood. Despite all these efforts, leaving no stone unturned, there was no trace of Nancy Guthrie. On February 2nd, the case turned from a missing person search and rescue to a criminal investigation. Within days, ransom notes began to surface. On February 2nd, 2006, the Tucson, Arizona CBS affiliate, Cold, spelled K-O-L-D TV, reported receiving a letter demanding payment for Nancy's release. The note contains specific details about Nancy Guthrie's home, along with what she was wearing on the night that she disappeared, leading those in law enforcement to believe the validity and veracity of the letter, that these people knew about Nancy Guthrie in terms that others would not have had such knowledge. The following day, on February 3rd, 2026, TMZ reported also receiving a ransom note asking for millions and millions of dollars in bitcoins for the return of Nancy Guthrie. It also claims that TMZ received various other letters, ransom notes, including one that stated that Nancy was alive but that she was scared, as well as being aware of the demands being made in the ransom notes. Investigators acknowledge the ransom notes but cannot vouch for their veracity as to whether or not the ones writing these ransom notes indeed had possession of Nancy Guthrie. President Donald Trump called Savannah on February 4th to offer additional federal resources, expressed hope for Nancy's safe return. The White House posted information about the case, social media's accounts, urging the public to come forward. February 5th, authorities arrested a Californian man on federal charges for posing as allegedly Nancy's abductor and extorting the family. The deadline of 5 p.m. on that same day passed without any resolution. Second deadline was installed as to February 9th, 2026, came and went as well. Ransom demand was for $6 million, has remained unanswered publicly. February 7th, Savannah and her siblings released a video. This video was aimed directly at those that may have been holding their mom, Nancy Guthrie. The video stated that we received your message and we understand. Emotionally, the message also went on to say, we beg you now to return our mother to us so we can celebrate with her. This is very valuable to us and we will pay. On February 10th, 2026, FBI Director Kash Patel released 4 black and white images. Video footage was recovered from the doorbell nest. This was despite the intruder's attempts to destroy the film footage. The video images showed a masked man wearing gloves, carrying a 25-liter Ozark Trail knapsack, carrying a holster firearm, positioned unusually at the front of his body. The intruder was measured approximately to be 5'9" to 5'10", with an average build and a black mustache. The sheriff stated that it was the best clues to be found on the case. Savannah reposted the images saying, we still believe she's alive. Please bring her home. Same day, a person of interest was detained following a traffic stop in Arizona. Investigators had a search warrant, a property, and a vehicle in the area. February 11, 2026, this individual was cleared of all charges and was released. February 13th, investigators launched another attempt on a home a couple miles from Nancy Guthrie's home. 2 people were removed and roads were closed for hours during the investigation. A gray Range Rover in a parking lot nearby was seized and towed. The person was taken in for questioning. That person was released the following day. February 15, 2026, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, indicated they had a significant find. They found near Nancy's home a glove that they believed to be worn by the intruder on the night that Nancy was abducted. DNA was taken from the glove and there was no matches in the national database of DNA. February 18, 2026, Google announced it was trying to extract even more video from the video camera on Nancy's doorbell. During this investigative period, Savannah stepped away from her NBC duties. This included hosting the 2026 Winter Olympics opening ceremonies in Italy. She could be present in the search for her mother, Nancy Guthrie. Savannah, along with her siblings Annie, Cameron, became the face of the investigation. They posted continuously videos of emotional appeal to return their mother. February 24th, which was the 24th day of the search and missing and criminal investigation, Savannah posted perhaps her most raw and emotional video yet. Savannah stated hope and grief all in the same sentence and breath. Savannah said that every hour, minute, and second, and every long night has been agony since then, worrying about her, fearing for her, aching for her, and most of all, just missing her. Savannah went on to say that she still believes in a miracle, that Nancy can still come home. Savannah also, however, faced the bitter truth, and this is in quotations. We all know that she may be lost, may already be gone, have already gone to the home of the Lord that she loves, and is dancing in heaven with her mom and dad, her beloved brother Pierce, and with her daddy. In that same video, Savannah announced the Guthrie family was offering a $1 million reward for any information that leads to Nancy Guthrie's recovery. Savannah made it clear that tips could be submitted anonymously through the FBI's tip line. Tip line is 1-800-CALL-FBI. At the family's reward follows the same criteria as the FBI's own $100,000 reward. Total would be $1.1 million, $1 million by the Guthrie family and $100,000 by the FBI. Savannah stated also that someone out there knows something that could bring her home. Somebody knows, and we are begging you, please, come forward now. In a separate announcement in the same video, the Guthrie family said they were donating $500,000 National Center of and Exploited Children, in acknowledgement that their experience, as devastating as it has been and was, not unique. Millions of families live with the same uncertainty. 1 month after the beginning of the grisly story about how Nancy Guthrie is believed to have been abducted from her house, authorities continue to investigate. Enforcement continue to reviewing new video footage of cars in the vicinity of Nancy Guthrie's home. Savannah Guthrie is returning back to work in New York City, where she was hosting the NBC program. The story has not only gripped the United States, but now is internationally being watched from near and far. As tragic as Nancy Guthrie's story appears to be playing out with no clues of any type of magnitude to help recover her, or hopefully not, but her body as well, there's another story that recently happened. It's a story that you can't make up. The Nancy Guthrie story or Michelle Lindley Smith. She left her house on December 9, 2001, when she was located in Virginia. She was found in February of 2026. Authorities found her after finding new information in North Carolina. Been gone for over 24 years, gone missing. Poof, been living under an undisclosed identity and location. Exact whereabouts are being kept private at her request. Daughter at this woman being gone for over 24 years had a mixed emotion and complex feelings about how to feel. It's not like her mother just went out one day and took a siesta. She was gone for over 20 years. So how are the children supposed to feel? Her daughter said that she felt relief that her mother was alive, but also, on the other hand, over the lost years and unanswered questions. Like, Ma, where were you? Hello? Years Michelle's disappearance, community concerns, baffled law enforcement and media coverage. Her case remained one of the many long-term mystery with no solution. Michelle was a mother of three, originally from North Carolina, where she was found. She told her family on December 9, 2001, she was going holiday shopping. Never, ever returned. There's a couple crazy facts about this Michelle case, is that she wanted to remain whereabouts and her identity unknown by her own family. The authorities did call her family to let them know that she was alive, but would not disclose her precise location, respecting Michelle's privacy. February 25, 2026, Michelle was arrested for an outstanding warrant stemming all the way back to 2001. Failed to appear in court when she had previously been arrested for driving impaired with a DUI. Bond was set at $2,000. Michelle posted bond, was released the same day that she was arrested for the warrant. Scheduled to appear in court in March of 2026. When Michelle was located, she told authorities that she left in 2001, some 24 years earlier, because of domestic issues involving her family. However, the authorities checked the database and found no reports by Michelle about any domestic incidences between her and any family member. This daughter, who was age 14 when she vanished in 2001, expressed a mix of strong emotions as to her disappearance and reappearance and failure to disclose where she was living and her identity. Michelle, the mother, obviously went on and lived her life, but what she left behind was the remnants of 3 children who were left quandary about who, what, where, when, and how happened to her mother. The question becomes, is there enough therapy in the world to heal these 3 siblings, knowing that the mother left without any notice and never reached out to him for 24 years? I want to leave you with 2 phone numbers so that anyone has any missing persons, whether it's an adult or a child, you can call and get help. First is the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System. You call 855-626-7600. The second will be the National Center Missing and Exploited Children. And that phone number is 800-843-5678. Remember, the U.S. Constitution, one of the greatest documents ever written, states, "We the people." Next time.